Michael Chandler. I think that right now is a good moment for us to talk about Michael Chandler's career because last night it was just a really, really bad performance from Michael Chandler. Again, Michael Chandler just doesn't have the best IQ. I don't think that he has what it takes to be a champion in the lightweight division. He should definitely consider retirement 100%. Without a doubt. I mean, we saw him get absolutely annihilated by Paddy Pimblett. I mean, the fight wasn't even close. As soon as Paddy Pimblett got it to the floor, Michael Chandler got completely freaking outclassed. And he even got outclassed in his last fight against Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira was able to just, keep him on the floor and just dominate him round after round. I mean, it's pretty evident that Michael Chandler is a fighter that is definitely exciting. Some people do tune in to watch his fights, but he just doesn't win. He just doesn't win fights whatsoever. Let's go ahead and look at his resume really, really quickly. He managed to get a win over Dan Hooker back in 2021. You know, he loses Charles Oliveira, loses to Justin Gaethje, gets a win over a declining Tony Ferguson. I know this is not the version of Tony Ferguson that everybody knows and loves. It is a version of Tony Ferguson that was, pretty much getting torched at this point. That was back in 2022. Loses to Dustin Poirier again, loses to Charles Oliveira, and then now gets absolutely annihilated by Paddy Pimblett. I mean, in my honest opinion, I just don't think that Michael Chandler has what it takes to be a real contender in the lightweight division. I think that now he should definitely just try to focus on getting as many money fights as possible because he is blessed, with the fact that fighters still want to fight him because Michael Chandler is a guy that does bring in crowds. Say what you want to say about Michael Chandler. He is an exciting guy to watch because he does, stand and bang. He does, try to make it an entertaining fight. And for that, we have to give him credit that he at least tries to make it entertaining because we are now headed towards a direction where the majority of fights in the UFC just are absolute snoozers. For Michael Chandler to at least attempt to make it a entertaining fight, it's just something that you have to salute, just something that you have to respect. But at the end of the day, he's just not winning fights, and he's losing against, the cream of the crop, the best of the best. And let's just be honest, he doesn't have what it takes to be the best of the best. And that could be because of his age, that could be because he doesn't make the best decisions, he doesn't have the best fight IQ because he does try to make the crowd, love him because he is a little bit of a crowd pleaser. It could be a combination of all those things, but based on what we've seen, and especially in his last two performances, I think it's pretty fair to say that Michael Chandler just isn't, the Michael Chandler that everybody hoped for whenever he did come to the UFC. I mean, I think that even Henry Cejudo has some pretty good takes. It pretty much just goes over what everybody says, but I think that it's important for us to watch because I think that Henry Cejudo does make a lot of good points here. So let's go ahead and react to this video.
Michael Chandler, 1-5 in his past six. We know he is exciting, but it seems like the results are kind of getting more lopsided as we go on. 37 years old. Can he turn this around, or are we just seeing so many miles in the tank? Is this kind of the end?
No, I get it, man. I'm 3-0 now. I'm 0-3. I'm sorry. So I get it, Chandler. But damn, that five, like, yeah, he probably has to get one more and just consider retirement. That's a lot of beatings, man. I think Chandler could have been the best in the world. And I even told this to him. He's too much of a crowd pleaser. And that has really bit him in the ass. You guys remember, like, Mike Perry, too. Like, Mike Perry was a crowd pleaser, too. And, it's just only a certain time before the UFC just says, hey, man, thank you for pleasing us, but we gotta move on. And I feel like Chandler, they're probably going to, at this point, maybe the UFC might give him a younger guy. And that's typically what happens in this game.
I think that is a fair point. I think that Michael Chandler has made a lot of bad decisions in his career, especially with pleasing the crowd. I mean, it does pay the bills, and let's just go ahead and be honest about that. It does get you paid. If you are a fighter that the crowd absolutely loves, obviously the UFC is going to try to give you as many fights as possible because you do bring in the fans. But at the end of the day, I mean, Michael Chandler just isn't winning fights, and he's getting absolutely annihilated out there. Personally, man, I would like to see Michael Chandler just get one really, really good fight left in his career and then probably retire. I think that if Conor McGregor does come back and does give him an opportunity for a fight, I mean, that's Michael Chandler's best, send off, because I feel like Conor McGregor coming back probably does beat Michael Chandler. I mean, resume does speak for itself. Maybe this could all just be one big giant plan for Michael Chandler to show Conor McGregor, like, hey, come whoop my ass and get me a big ass paycheck, you know? I don't know. But at the end of the day, I just feel like Michael Chandler should just go for as many money fights as possible. Try to get, some money back from all that wasted time whenever he was waiting on Conor McGregor for like almost damn near 3 years and look to retire because obviously he just doesn't have what it takes to be in the top five, let alone be a real contender in the lightweight division. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you guys think Michael Chandler should retire? Do you guys think that he should do something else? I don't know, maybe become a commentator, maybe even become a coach. I mean, who knows? I think that Michael Chandler does, possess some good skills, maybe just not being a professional fighter anymore. Maybe it's in other things. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. As always, it's a pleasure. Peace out and have a good one.